Om Namah Shivaya children. Good morning. Today we will start our new chapter, chapter 10. Today at the same time I will be conducting a unit test for the last chapter. So we'll start new chapter, chapter 10, that is motion and measurement of distances. Motion and measurement of distances. So children, I cannot ask you this vacation, would you go anywhere? Because it was lockdown. Okay, but last year or before, you must have traveled a lot. Can you tell me what was your mode of transport? Yes, some might be saying bus, some are saying car, some must be saying train. Okay, can be a bicycle also if it is very close by. So our mode of transport may be bicycle, scooter, car, bus, train, or maybe a aeroplane if you are going very far like Dubai, Gulf or anywhere. So how we select this mode of transport? We select this mode of transport by seeing our distance or seeing how far the city was, or almost measuring the distance. If it is very close by, the scooter or a car is enough. If it is little more far, like Kochi, Kozhikode, we need a bus. Or if it is Kolkata or inside India itself, then we need train. Or if it is outside India, Gulf, we need an aeroplane. So depending upon the distance, we select all this mode of transport. Have you ever think about our ancient time? How the people were used to go? Have you ever asked your grandfather how they go from one place to another? They used to walk and go miles and miles. Can you go to school by walk? I don't mean now, but other than this lockdown time, can you walk and go to school? I just wanted to know whether you can walk and go. Yes, tell me. No, because nowadays children cannot walk for minimum of 10 minutes also. Anyhow, long ago people did not have any means of transport. They used to move only on foot and carry goods on their back, and they move miles and miles of distance. Then they started using animals for their transportation to decrease their load. In water transportation, boats were used from ancient time. To begin this transportation, first they made logs of wood in which a hollow cavity is made. Then they learned to put together different pieces of wood and give shapes to the boats. This shape is same as the shape of fish. From the past, ships played an important role to carry a lot of goods and people. Then they invented a wheel, or there it happened, a invention of wheel. Invention of wheel made a great change in modes of transport. Animals were used to pull carts that moved on wheels. Due to distance traveled by the human being, it takes time to travel either by animals, boats, and ships. So their invention increased. Then comes invention of steam engine, led to the development of new means of transport. Railroads were made for steam engine driven carriages. But railroads cannot join small and big road. If you travel in a rail, uh, then still you have to again travel by bus because it cannot join the roads. So then came cars, trucks, and buses. Motorized boats and ships were used for transport on water. Then electric train, monorail, supersonic aeroplanes, and spacecraft are some of the contributions of the 20th century. Now see this video.
Of transport. Last summer vacation, Sam, with his parents, had visited his grandmother's place. To reach there, they had to first travel by a train, then a bus, and then by a boat. He wonders how ancient people moved from one place to another when they did not have any means of transport. Let us tell him the story of transport. Long ago, in ancient times, people used to move only on foot and carry goods, either on their back or using animals. Boats were used for water transport. Initially, the boats were simple logs of wood in which a hollow cavity could be made. Later, people learned to join different pieces of wood together and gave them the shape similar to fish in water. This streamlined shape allowed the boat to move easily in water. Later, the invention of wheels changed the modes of transport. The design of the wheel was improved over thousands of years. Animals were used to pull vehicles that moved on wheels. Until the beginning of the 19th century, only animal power was used to pull vehicles and transport people. Then, the steam engine was invented as a new source of power. Railroads were constructed for steam engine-driven carriages and wagons to move from place to place. Then came automobiles and motorized boats and ships for transport on water. In the early years of 1900, aeroplanes were developed which were later improved to carry passengers and goods. In the 20th century, faster and mechanized means of transport, like electric trains, monorail, supersonic aeroplanes, and spacecrafts, were developed. Thus, we can say that the means of transport kept on improving as centuries passed by.
So in ancient time, Man were walking or using animal to travel from one place to another or for transportation. And then comes the invention of wheel. Then we invented petrol engine. Now we are talking about rocket, electric vehicles and so on. Now there are many kinds of transport. They are categorized as land, water and air. This land transport need ply roads or rail for vehicles. But other can go anywhere. They don't need any structured road. Now water transport means can ply either on the ocean or in river. Air transport is recent and it includes aeroplane, helicopter, rockets and so on. So when we talk about means of transport, we cannot ignore the fact that some are faster than others. So the cycle what we use is slower than car and car is slower than the aeroplane. So we cannot ignore the speed of mode of transport. So we have covered the basics of transport. Now we come to our main topic, that is measurement. So what is measurement? It is a comparison between a unknown quantity to a known quantity. This definition I will explain after showing one activity. See here, this is a photo frame. Suppose this frame is broken. I need a new frame for this. So I need to measure the frame first. So I'll just measure with my hand span. See how I'm measuring. 1, 2. So it is of my two hand span. It is of my 2 hand span. This hand span is different for you, different for kids. Might be different for kids. So hand span won't be standard. It changes from person to person. Suppose I send a child to buy this frame and I told him to buy a frame of 2 handspan. Okay? And he brought the frame of his handspan of 2. His handspan of 2. 2. Okay? That means it will be smaller for this photo. That frame would be smaller for this photo. So that frame won't fit for it. So it is not standard. That handspan is not standard. It differs from person to person. Clear? Suppose if I ask you how long you have to travel to school, you say 3. What does it mean? It is incomplete. To complete that, we need a unit. If I say 3 kilometer or 2 kilometer km, that kilometer, see here, 3 kilometer. This kilometer is a unit which gives meaning to this number. If suppose you write only 3, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. You have to write 3 kilometer. What is this kilometer? Is a unit which gives the meaning to this number 2. So, measurement always has 2 things. That is a number and a unit. The measurement is having 2 parts. That is a number and a unit. A number and a unit. In physics, units are very, very important. You cannot skip this. If I ask you how much kilo potatoes you brought from the shop, what you will say? 2 kilo, 3 kilo. Can you say only 2? No. You have to answer 2 kilos. That kilo plays an important role in physics. So in this 3 kilometer is known to us because it is a known unit. It is a known unit. But what about this 3? This 3 is unknown. When you measured the distance, then only you got that it is 3. That is kilometer, you know. That is the your school, and the distance between the school or your school is at least some kilometer from your house. But how much, that you don't know. So when you measured, you got 3. So 3 is unknown and kilometer is known. When we measure only we get 3. So this is the measurement. This measurement means is a comparison of a number, comparison of a unknown quantity to a known quantity. This is a unknown quantity and this kilometer is a known one. It is a comparison between these two quantity. Measurement is a comparison between the unknown quantity to a known quantity. Before measuring, you know that this is some kilometers. But after measurement, you got it is 3 kilometer. So it is a comparison between a unknown quantity to a known quantity. Clear? So what is measurement, you understood? Now let us see activity 1, page number 97. In this, it is said to do in a group. This work has to be done in a group. If you are in school, you can do with your friends, along with your friends, and compare the length and width of your classroom. But here, now as you cannot do in the classroom, what you have to do is, you have to measure the length and width of your room. Okay, using your foot. While measuring your length, if a small part is remaining, what you have to do is, that part you have to measure it using a thread. That thread you have to keep on the scale and measure it. So see here, I have taken here laminated sheet over here. So I want to measure the length of this sheet. For that, I'll first measure with my hand span. So like this 1, and this is the not complete 2. So what I have to do? I have to use the thread over here. Instead of hand span, you have to do with your foot. Okay, same way you have to do with your foot. So I have kept here thread over here, and the end I have here marked. So mark the end of the thread. You have to mark this end and keep on the scale. I'll just measure over here with this using a scale. So one end should be kept on 0, the other end stretch and keep. I am getting 14. 14 I am getting, okay. So you have to write here 1 hand span and 15 or 14 centimeter. I got 14. So write here 14 centimeter. After getting the length, you have to measure in the column. Name of student, you write your name. Length of the classroom. Instead of classroom, you write there your room. Length and width of the room. Both you have to write here. And as you don't have your friends, instead of that, you can use your brother or sister if you have, or you can take the help of your mother or father. Their foot length you have to write in the next column. You can write in the next column your father's length of the room. In the next column you have to write the father's width of the room. And then third column you can use your mother's, or if you have brother or sister, anyone, your family members, okay, and their length of the room, their width of the room. This you have to complete in your textbook only. Don't write this in your notebook, okay. Complete in your textbook itself and find out the conclusion, okay. In the next class I will ask about this, okay.